Okay, today we're making one of my all-time favorites, mushrooms on toast. Mushrooms on toast is so delicious during the fall because you have all this like bounty from the forest, literally from the forest. We've got a loaf of delicious sourdough or something just as amazing, some room temperature eggs, so put those out a couple hours before, whipped up a quick pesto, a variety of mushrooms. Today I've got chanterelles, brown, cremini, and white, a bunch of thyme, garlic, some prosciutto, medium thinly sliced. We've got some kohlrabi greens, they're so pretty and purple. A lemon for zesting, some Italian flat leaf parsley, a double cream brie, some Parmesan, some whipping cream, a lot of butter, honestly, a lot. And then I think today we're gonna use beer. We're gonna use a Four Winds oat porter to deglaze with. And then your salt and pepper. Okay, I don't know why, but a lot of people peel mushrooms and I'm like, okay, fancy pants, like, let's take it easy. All I do is take a paper towel and you rub it just from the dirt. Honestly, and this might sound gross, I don't care. I think a little bit of dirt adds some flavor. They're earthy anyways. This is like the most earthy thing you can get to eat, so let's keep it that way. Okay, now I'm actually gonna clean them for a while. Are forest gold. Literally, I think they're probably doing better on the stock market than gold. They're chanterelles. So you can find these in North America and Europe. No one will tell you again where to find these. I've heard up near Nelson, of course. They have a nutty flavor. Never put them with anything that's gonna overpower them because they're quite light and delicate. Almost like an apricot-y flavor. True. We're gonna keep these whole, so we're gonna cook these for a bit longer, just because they're so pretty. Look at that, it's like a trumpet, French horn. What do we got? A trumpet, which is a different mushroom, so this is just a chanterelle. Clean them very delicately. They have all these gills, which are quite beautiful, so they hold lots of flavor in there. Okay, let's cut. With mushrooms, if they're fresh, you can totally keep the stems on. That's when you get those nice sliced looks. If they're older or like hard and rooty, then you can pop those out. But all of these are looking pretty good. You can always just cut the end off too if you want to keep the shape. Start with white. I find it's easiest if you're cutting like this. You want them to be fairly thick with your cut on the white mushroom. These are gonna cook the fastest. They're very spongy. Voila. Look at that. This makes me want pizza. Out of the mushrooms we have here, these are our wild mushrooms. These can be your wild mushrooms. These are very hard to cultivate because they have to grow under fir trees or pine trees. So that's why they're so expensive. Someone has to go out and dig these up and find them under a tree. Whereas these can be grown by human beings with our hands, not under a tree. Okay, next we're gonna chop our little chili. Again, look how perfect.
It's so perfect.
So perfect. There's no such thing as perfection in the kitchen. Let's chop it up. Oh, this is a spicy one. You might not use all of it. Ooh, quick tip. If you want a lip plumper that's really quick, just rub this on your lips. Fire them up. Some garlic. This is from my sister's farm. Keep your garlic in a cold, dark, dry place, like my heart. Just kidding. Again, we're pressing down on the knife. Open it up. Just falls out of there, right? Today I'm cheating. I'm using a garlic press. I have 2 garlic presses. They're the exact same. That's how much I use garlic. A garlic press basically acts like a knife because it has this little section here, which has little blades. You press it through, scrape it off to clean it really quick. If you're trying to impress someone with your knife skills, then use a knife. But there we go, we're ready to go. Okay, to cook mushrooms, I'm gonna use a cast iron pan because I'm gonna be deglazing. So I wanna get kind of like, not burnt, but I wanna get them golden. And I want all that garlic and chili and thyme, whatever else we have, to kind of build up so I can scrape it off at the end. We're just gonna put a little bit of olive oil. Contrary to popular belief, in order to keep mushrooms' shape, you don't want to drench them in butter right off the bat. We're going to add that at the end. This would help if it's turned on, so let's turn it on. This is the element I have troubles with. Whoa! Oh yeah. Okay, let's let that heat up a little. Get our thyme ready. I think I'm just gonna throw a sprig in. It'll figure itself out. You can always just de-stem them like we did in our last recipe, but I think for this purpose, let's just put the whole thing in. A good way to test if your oil's hot enough, you put your herbs in, they start to sizzle. You can always add more herbs if this bunch is kind of wilted and gross. It's ready. So we're gonna start with our cremini mushrooms. These ones are gonna take the longest to cook. I didn't slice these because they're very beautiful whole. I did take the top off. Just give them a little coating. Okay, while those are cooking,
home cooking.
No. Screaming your goddamn call. Okay. Let's grate some cheese. For the main component of the sauce, I'm going to be using a double cream brie. Oh my god. This is like my life. Brie cheese. And people used to make fun of me because my name's Brianna and they'd call me Brie cheese. And now I take that as like, yeah, thank you. My name is Brie. Anna cheese. Okay, we're doing parm. This is just going to be for the top. Something you can do ahead of time. Don't grate your parm days in ahead. And again, if you're getting pre-grated parm, it's such a waste of money and of like loss of flavor. It's not good. Don't do it. There, perfect, that's all. You can kind of smell the mushrooms starting to cook. Put a little bit more oil in. We're gonna add our chili. People stir their mushrooms too much. If you're keeping them whole like this, there's no need to like stir and stir and stir. It's gonna break them apart. Cook them on their tops, flip them, cook them on their bottoms. That way the heat's moving up. You'll start to see the mushroom juices kind of flow up. Mushroom juice. Once these little fellows are producing a juice, they're dark brown. They're not that light brown anymore. The liquid's kind of coming up.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, so we've got that. You can see them. We're gonna take them out. We don't want them to overcook. Never be scared to take things out and re-add them later, especially with meat and vegetables. A lot of people keep like their chicken in the pan the whole time. Don't do that. Unless it's, you know, the recipe asks you to, I guess. Okay, let's do some more mushrooms. Next up, we're gonna do our brown. These are gonna cook way faster. Have a pan big enough so most of them have space to cook. They're gonna shrink up, but you don't wanna crowd them too much. Just give them a good coat. Should I try something fancy? How heavy is this? Oh. Shout out to Orange for the forearm strength. Thank you, Tina. Thank you, Becky. Okay. We're there. We don't want to fully cook them because they are going to be reduced. So that's good. I like that. Now we're adding butter. We're gonna do our chanterelles in butter. Also gonna add our garlic now. The reason I didn't add my garlic before, garlic cooks so quickly and it tends to burn, and that's fine if you like burnt garlic. We don't want that for this though. Garlic actually cooks in about 30 seconds. Very quick. Chanterelles. Keeping them whole. Our delicate little flowers. Turn the heat down. Just let them cook. We're getting a good kind of like base on the bottom of the pan, which is going to be great when we deglaze. On the other side of that pan, I'm going to do my white mushrooms. These take 0 time to cook. What can we do while we're waiting? Oh, let's talk prosciutto. We're going to be using prosciutto on top. This is a great little thing to have on hand in your fridge. It can be used for anything as like a nice addition. It adds a good salt, it adds a good crispy texture. We're going to be cooking it on a low heat, so it kind of acts as like a bacon-y thing. You want to remove a couple of your mushrooms for presentation if you're into that sort of thing. Some of us are. So I'm going to take a couple chanterelles and a couple zucchini mushrooms, just so you can sprinkle them on top without them being in the sauce. Okay, we're going to cheat. This is always nice to have on hand. Very fine flour. Use it when you want to thicken the sauce. Very fine flour. Let it cook a little, or else you're going to have a floury taste. We're going to deglaze. Traditionally, with mushrooms and toast, you would use a rich red wine. We're going to use an oat porter. Woo! Boil off the alcohol. We're going to throw our other mushrooms back in. Oh, that's nice. Once you don't smell beer anymore, you can add your cream. We're going to turn our heat up to high. Let's go. Bring that to a boil, like a rapid, bubbly, frothy boil. Let it boil for about a minute or so. It's just getting all that extra moisture out of there. Okay, then just turn it off, add your cheese. With soft cheeses, you can keep the rind on, that's fine to eat. It's not gonna disturb you at all. Let it melt a little before stirring it in, or else it's gonna glob up a lot. So just let it settle in. We're putting our pan on a very low heat for the prosciutto. This is gonna cook really quickly once it starts, but we do wanna render out some of that fat. So just let it sit in there. We're toasting our bread. Gorgeous sourdough. Nice thick piece. Like so. Rather than putting it in the toaster, we're gonna drizzle it with some olive oil. Actually, no, we're gonna spread some butter on this. We're gonna bake this at 350, just until it's toasted. For toast, it's nice to use day-old bread. This is like fresh from this morning, just because that way you can kind of absorb things a little bit more, but this works. Stir our cheese in. So our prosciutto is ready, nice and crispy. We're just gonna put that on top. Remember how salty this is. This is why we're not salting our mushrooms yet, because we want to keep in mind everything salty that we're adding. We're adding some Parmesan, prosciutto, some lemon. The pesto has some salt in it, so we want to take it easy. Just mellow up. Nice and toasty. Is there anything better than bubbling butter? Ooh! Hot. Let's put it together. We're going to start with our pesto on the bottom. Nice thick layer. Up next, mushrooms. So we've got some kohlrabi sprouts here. Kohlrabi sprouts are just the sprouts of like this turnip-like vegetable. They're very almost sweet. Unlike pea shoots, they're just like a very delicate flavor. So they're just there to add some nice color. They're nice purple and green and beautiful. Very good for you as well, high in vitamin C. I'm just gonna pile them on. Prosciutto here. So when I took it out of the pan, it kind of was still drooping. That's because it was still so hot, but it's good. So just put it into nice pieces on top. Do a quick chop of some parsley. Parmesan on top. Some lemon zest, always. That's gonna counteract the richness of the mushrooms really nicely. A little bit of salt. Pepper. Pepper. There we have mushrooms on toast. You might need a knife and fork. You will. You will. And you can always top it with a poached egg to make just the most phenomenal breakfast. Oh, there she goes. Timber. This actually would be probably enough for two, hey?
I would think so.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. Feel free to subscribe and join me next week for more delicious cooking.